In today's lecture, we will be discussing about the determination of vibration modes of xenon tetrafluoride using group theory. There are three major steps involved. The first step involves writing the reducible representation. The second step involves reducing the reducible representation using reduction formula, and the third step involves assigning the vibration modes. First, we come to writing the reducible representation. First, we have to write the structure of the molecule. It is square planar in shape. Xenon is at the center of the square, and the four fluorine atoms the four corners of the square. The point group of the molecule is D4H, and the symmetry operations are E, C4, C2, C2 dash, C2 double dash, I, S4, sigma H, sigma V, and sigma D. Next, we have to write the basis for the molecule. Basis of the molecule is by writing three vectors over each atom involved. That is, in xenon tetrafluoride there are totally 5 atoms, xenon and 4 fluorine atoms. Over each one of these atoms you will have a set of 3 vectors representing the 3 position coordinates x, y and z. During vibration, the position of the atoms may change, as a result of which the position coordinates may change. The number of atoms in xenon tetrafluoride is 5, and the total number of modes will be equal to 3 into number of atoms. It will be 3 into 5 equal to 15. Next, we come to the character of the reducible representation. It is calculated by performing the various symmetry operations on the basis. When we say various symmetry operations, what we mean is the symmetry operations which are given previously: E, C4, C2, C2 dash, C2 double dash, I, S4, sigma H, sigma V and sigma D over this basis which is given here. And for every symmetry operation, the number of atoms unshifted is found out, and from the number of atoms unshifted we get the character of reducible representation by multiplying it with the factor for the operation. First, we will consider identity. Identity is the operation of doing nothing, and when we do nothing, all the atoms will remain in the same place, and so the number of unshifted atoms will be equal to 5. The factor for the identity operation is 3, and the character of the reducible representation is number of atoms unshifted into factor, which is 5 into 3 equal to 15. Now we will look at the way we get the factor of the operation as 3. The transformation matrix for identity is 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. If you look at the diagonal elements, and if you take the sum of the diagonal elements, that will be equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal to 3, which is the character, and that is why you get the factor as 3. We will go to the next operation, which is C4. C4 in xenon tetrafluoride passes through the xenon atom, and it is perpendicular to the molecular plane. Here at the middle of the square you find the xenon, and you find the 4 fluorine atoms at the 4 corners of the square, and the axis contains the atom xenon. Whatever atom that is present in the axis will not get shifted during rotation about C4, which involves 90-degree rotation, and during 90-degree rotation this fluorine will come here, this fluorine will come here, this will go there and this will go there, but the position of the xenon will not change, and the number of unshifted atoms is equal to 1. The factor for the operation is 1, and the character of reducible representation is equal to number of atoms unshifted into factor for the operation, which is 1 into 1 equal to 1. Now we will tell you how we get the factor for the operation as 1. For Cn axis in general, the transformation matrix will contain the diagonal elements as cos theta and 1, and the other elements are either 0 or some other trigonometric terms. If you take the sum of the diagonal elements, it will be cos theta plus 1 equal to 2 cos theta plus 1. This is the character for Cn. For C4, if you take case of C4, the angle theta will be equal to 90 degrees, and so this will be 2 cos 90 degrees plus 1. Cos 90 is 0, so 2 into 0 plus 1, which will be equal to 1. That is how you get the factor as 1. Next we come to the symmetry operation C2, which is collinear with C4. C4 is rotation about 90 degrees, whereas C2 is rotation about 180 degrees. And at the center of the square we have xenon, at the four corners we have four fluorine atoms. And during rotation about C2, which involves 180 degree rotation, this fluorine atom will be shifted here, whereas this will be shifted here, and so on. This fluorine atom will be shifted here, whereas this will be shifted here. And there will be one atom that is remaining unshifted, and that is xenon. So the number of unshifted atoms is equal to 1, and the factor for the operation is minus 1. Character for the reducible representation is equal to 1 into minus 1 equal to minus 1. Now we will see how we get the factor as minus 1. Earlier we have seen that the character for Cn is 2 cos theta plus 1. In this case for C2, theta is equal to 180 degrees, and so this will be 2 into cos 180 degree plus 1. 2 in cos 180 degree is minus 1, and so 2 into minus 1 plus 1, and that will be equal to minus 1. That is how you get the factor as minus 1 in the case of C2. Now we will go to the next symmetry operation. Next symmetry operation is C2 dash. Earlier C2 and C4 were perpendicular to the molecular plane, whereas this C2 is present in the molecular plane, and the center of the square is xenon, and the four corners you have four fluorine atoms. And what we find is that in this C2 dash axis itself there are three atoms that are present, that is one xenon and two fluorine atoms are present in the axis itself. So totally three atoms, and these three atoms will not shift during rotation about C2 dash, whereas the fluorine which is present here will come here, the fluorine which is present here will go there, and so the number of unshifted atoms will remain 3, and the factor for the operation is minus 1, as we have earlier seen, and the character of reducible representation is number of atoms unshifted into factor for the operation is equal to 3 into minus 1 equal to minus 3. Coming to the next operation of C2 double dash. The C2 double dash is also present in the molecular plane, but it is passing through xenon atom. Xenon atom is in the middle, four fluorine atoms on the four corners of the square. The C2 double dash axis passes through the xenon atom, bifurcating or bisecting the two fluorine atoms, and it is present in the molecular plane. Compare it with the C2 dash which we discussed earlier. C2 dash passes through two xenon fluorine bonds, whereas C2 double dash is bisecting the two xenon fluorine bonds, and it passes through only one atom. So the atom that is present on the axis itself will not get shifted during the rotation, and so one atom, that is a xenon atom alone, will remain unshifted. All the other atoms will get shifted like this. For example, the fluorine which is here will be shifted through 180 degrees because it is a C2 axis. This fluorine on the left will come to the right. Similarly, the fluorine which is present here will come here, the fluorine which is present here will go there. The number of unshifted atoms is 1, and the factor for the operation is minus 1. As we have seen earlier, character of the reducible representation is equal to 1 into minus 1 equal to minus 1. Coming to the next operation, operation I is the inversion about the center of symmetry. During inversion, all the atoms except the atom at the center is xenon, except xenon, all the 4 fluorine atoms will change position. So the number of unshifted atoms is 1, and the factor for the operation is minus 3, and the character for the reducible representation is number of atoms unshifted into factor equal to 1 into minus 3 equal to minus 3. Now we will see how we get the factor as minus 3. The transformation matrix for the center of symmetry is minus 1 0 0 0 minus 1 0 0 0 minus 1. The diagonal elements are minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, and so if you take the sum of the diagonal elements, it will come out to be minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 equal to minus 3. That is why you get the factor as minus 3 in the case of inversion. The next symmetry operation is S4. S4 is based on C4, and S4 is C4 followed by sigma H. Normally first operation is done on the right side followed by what is given on the left, and so S4 is normally the same same element as C4, except that first there is rotation. At the center you find xenon, and the 4 corners you find the 4 fluorine atoms. During rotation about C4, all the fluorine atoms will change their positions like this, whereas the xenon atom will be unshifted because it is present in the axis itself. This will be followed by reflection about sigma H, and still the unshifted atom will be xenon atom, and so only one atom remains unshifted. The factor for the operation is minus 1, and the character for the reducible representation is number of atoms unshifted into factor for the operation, which is equal to 1 into minus 1 equal to minus 1. We will see how we get the factor for Sn axis. In general, the transformation matrix will be like this. It will be similar to Cn, except that now we have rotation followed by reflection about a perpendicular plane, and so rotation followed by reflection. During reflection, this plus 1 will become minus 1. So cos theta minus 1. The remaining elements other than the diagonal elements may be either 0 or some trigonometric terms, and sum of the diagonal elements is cos theta plus cos theta minus 1, which is 2 cos theta minus 1. This will be the character of the operation Sn. Now we have S4. S4 means theta will be equal to 90 degrees, and because theta is 90 degree, you will get 2 cos 90 minus 1, 2 into 0 minus 1, and you get the value as minus 1. That is how you get the factor as minus 1 for S4. Next we come to the plane sigma H plane, which is a symmetry element present like this in the molecular plane. In sigma H you find at the center of the square xenon, at the 4 corners 4 fluorine atoms. So all the 5 atoms are present in the plane. Whatever atoms that are present in the plane itself will not undergo any change during reflection, so the number of unshifted atoms will be equal to 5. The factor for the operation sigma is 1, and so the character of reducible representation will be 5 into 1 equal to 5. Now let us find out how we get the factor for sigma as 1. C4 is the principal axis. Principal axis is normally taken as the Z axis, and so sigma H will be the XY plane, and for sigma the transformation matrix will be like this. Because it is XY plane, diagonal elements will be for x, in the place of x you will have 1, in the place of y you will have 1, and in the place of z it will get shifted, and so instead of plus 1 we will have minus 1. The remaining elements will be 0. Whatever items that are present in the plane itself are unshifted. X and Y are present in the plane, and so X and Y are not shifted. That is why you get 2 positive ones, whereas for Z you will get minus 1. If you take the sum of the diagonal elements, it will be 1 plus 1 minus 1, and that will be equal to 1. That is how you get the factor for operation as 1. Next we come to the symmetry operation sigma v. The sigma v contains the xenon atom and 2 fluorine atoms are in the sigma v plane. The sigma v plane will be stretched further. The remaining 2 fluorine atoms are not present in the plane. During reflection, whatever atoms which are present in the plane, the fluorine, 2 fluorine atoms and 1 xenon atom, they will not get shifted, and so 3 atoms which are present in the plane, they will not get shifted, whereas the other 2 fluorine atoms will get interchanged. So the number of unshifted atoms is 3. Whatever items that are present in the plane, the factor for the operation is 1, and so the character is number of unshifted atoms into factor. It will be 3 into 1 equal to 3. Next we come to sigma d. The difference between sigma v and sigma d is that in the case of sigma v, the plane passes through 2 xenon fluorine bonds. These are the 2 xenon fluorine bonds through which the plane passes. Here if we see the sigma d plane, suppose the center you have xenon, the other fluorine atoms will be present here. The plane is not passing through the xenon fluorine bond, but it is bisecting the 2 xenon fluorine bonds. The plane is bisecting the 2 xenon fluorine bonds, and it is passing through only 1 xenon atom. Only 1 xenon atom is present in the plane. It will be unshifted, whereas all the other atoms will get shifted. This fluorine will come here, this fluorine will come here, this fluorine will come here, and this fluorine will come here, but the xenon atom will not change its position, and so the number of unshifted atoms is equal to 1. The factor for the operation is 1, and so the character of the reducible representation is equal to 1 into 1 equal to 1. Now summing up all the details, you get like this. For E, the character of reducible representation is 15. C4 character is 1, C2 character is minus 1, C2 dash character is minus 3, C2 double dash character is minus 1, I minus 3, S4 minus 1, sigma H 5, sigma V 3, and sigma D 1. Now what we have here is the reducible representation. These numbers 15, 1, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1, 5, 3, 1 are the various characters of reducible representation, namely chi r. Now we are going to reduce this reducible representation using the character table. First, what we have written here is the reducible representation chi r. These are the numbers which we found out: 15, 1, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1, 5, 3, 1. The point group is D4H. So what we have written below this is the character table for the point group D4H, and here what we find is 10 classes totally, and since there are 10 classes, the number of irreducible representations present will be 10 irreducible representations, namely A1G, A2G, B1G, B2G, EG, A1U, A2U, B1U, B2U, and EU. These are the irreducible representations present. The value of GP will be like this. For E it is 1, for C4 class 2, because there are 2 operations in this class. C2 is 1, C2 dash is 2, 2C2 dash is 2C2 double dash is 2, I is 1, 2S4 is 2, sigma H is 1, 2 sigma B is 2, and 2 sigma D is 2. These are the operations in each class, and this is what you call as GP. So the GP numbers are 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. And if you take the sum of all these numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, like this, you will get 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 1 4 plus 2 6, 8, 1 9, 2 11 plus 5 16. So this will be the total number of operations, H equal to 16. All these numbers in this character table are the characters of irreducible representation. During reduction we will be using the formula here to find out the number of times an irreducible representation is repeated. It will be equal to 1 by H summation Gp chi I chi r, where Gp is the number of operations in a class, H is the number of operations, chi I is the character of irreducible representation, and chi r is the character of reducible representation. Number of operations H is equal to 16. Now we will take up the irreducible representation one by one. For example, A1G. When you take A1G, you will take the characters opposite to A1G in the character table. They will be the chi I values. We can forget the remaining numbers in the character table. Chi r is 15, 1, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1, 5, 3, 1. Always GP is 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, always. H is 16, always. Only chi I is going to change. For A1G, the chi I is like this. When it comes to A2G, you have to take the numbers opposite to A2G alone, and that will be the chi I. For example, if you are going to take the B2G, numbers opposite to B2G, and that will be the chi I. Now for A1G, likewise, like this, you get the number of times A1G is repeated as 1. That means 1 A1G. Next is A2G, 1. A2G repeats one time. B1G repeats one time. B2G repeats one time. EG repeats one time. A1U repeats 0 times. That means this will not be present in the reducible representation because it is 0 times repeated. Next is A2U repeats 2 times. That means in the final result you will get it as 2A2U. Then we have B1U. B1U is 0. You will not find B1U in the final reducible representation. This is B2U, 1 B2U, and next is EU. This 3 EU, that means the final reducible representation E will be repeated 3 times. You will get 3 EU. And summarizing all these things, A1G repeats one time, A2G repeats one time, B1G repeats one time, B2G repeats one time, EG repeats one time, A1U repeats 0 times, so you will not find in the reducing representation. A2U repeats 2 times, 2A2U. B1U repeats 0 times, you will not find it in the reducible representation. B2U repeats 1 time, and EU repeats 3 times. This is the reducible representation. Now we are going to check the correctness of the reducible representation like this. We have to look at the character table for it. In this character table, you have to look at the column opposite to E alone, that is symmetry operation E. For A1, these the numbers here under E represent the dimensions of the irreducible representation. For A1G the dimension is 1, A2G 1, B1G 1, B2G 1, EG2, A1U1, A2U1, B1U1, B2U1 and EU2. Using this, write the representation. A1G dimension is 1, A2G 1, B1G 1, B2G 1, EG is 2, 2A2U is 2 into 1, B2U is 1 and 3U is 3 into 2 because for the dimension for EU is 2. Now adding all these quantities you get, this is 4 plus 4 is 8, 1 9 plus 6 equal to 15. For xenon tetrafluoride the number of atoms N equal to 5. So the total number of modes 3N equal to 3 into 5 equal to 15. Since we get the same number 15 here also, reducible representation which we have found out is correct. Note that what we have got now is total modes, which is translation modes plus rotational modes plus vibration modes. From this we need only the vibration modes. That means we have to take the other terms to the other side. This is total minus translation minus rotation. We have to subtract the translation mode and rotation mode from the total mode. The translation mode is found out like this. For translation you have to look at X, Y and Z. For rotation you have to look at the rotation vectors Rx, Ry and Rz. Now in the character table look where you find xy and z. Here you find xy, here you find z. Opposite z, what do you find? You find A to U. Opposite xy, what do you find? You find EU. Now you have to subtract A to U and EU from the total number of modes. A to U and EU represent the translation mode. Because you find Z, A to U represents the translation mode. Because you find X and Y, EU represent the translation mode. Both are reduced. Similarly, coming to the rotational modes, you have to look at Rx, Ry and Rz. Rz is found here. That means Rz is A2G. Rx, Ry are found here. That means Rx and Ry are represented by EG. We have to subtract A2G and EG. We get the vibration modes like this. A1G. A2G minus A2G is 0. B1G. B2G. EG minus EG is once again 0. 2A 2U minus A2U is A2U plus B2U. 3EU minus EU is 2EU. 3EU minus EU is 2EU. Now this is what we get as vibration modes here. A1G, B1G, B2G, A2U, B2U, 2EU. Now the next thing is we are going to find out which of these modes are, which of these vibration modes are IR active and which of these vibration modes are Raman active. IR active modes are represented by the Cartesian terms x, y, z. Raman active modes are represented by the quadratic terms containing s square, y square, z square, xy, yz, xz. Based on this, we will take up the vibration modes. First, we will take up the case of A1G. On opposite A1G, you find s square, y square and Z square, they are quadratic terms and so they represent Raman active terms. We have finished A1G. Now you go to the B1G, and against B1G what do you find? That is what we have to see. And against B1G we find a square minus y square, which is once again a quadratic term, and so this is Raman active. Next, after B1G we have to come to B2G, and against B2G what do you find? We find xy, which is a quadratic term once again, and so it is also Raman active. Next is after B2U you get A2U, and against A2U what do you find? Against A2U you find that term Z. Z is a Cartesian term, and so IR active. After A2U we come to B2U, and against B2U you don't find any terms here. That means this is inactive for Raman as well as IR. Next is EU, and against EU you find the terms x and y. X and y are Cartesian terms, and so this is IR active. To summarize, A1G, B1G and B2G are only Raman active. A2U is IR active. B2U is inactive, and EU is also IR active. Thank you.